Vote Swag. What? That's not my intro. Hey guys, welcome to another video, and in this one we're going to be talking about another minor feature in Assassin's Creed Brotherhood Revelations that could possibly return in Assassin's Creed Empires. Actually in Assassin's Creed 3, but it isn't as strong there as it is in Brotherhood Revelations. So I am of course talking about assassin recruits. So in AC Brotherhood Revelations especially, assassin recruits were quite a big thing. You'd go on missions to save people from either certain predicaments. In Assassin's Revelations there were more fleshed out missions, however your recruits couldn't die, but in Brotherhood you'd save them from some guards harassing them or bothering them or trying to like falsely arrest them or whatever in some way, and then you just save them and then they have a random name, a random look, and they join the Brotherhood, and then from there you train them up, you send them on missions across the continent sort of stuff to specific places to do missions which all have the little debrief and whatever. Even though you don't do them yourself, which is, you know, good. And you just send them on the way to do a mission, and if they fail, in Brotherhood they died, in Revelations they had to recover for a while, and if they succeed, then, you know, great stuff. However, I did like it in Brotherhood how if they got killed, they died, and they could die in confrontations with you when you call them in to help you as well, so you could call upon them to help you in the game, and that's only if you're overwhelmed. You can call in arrow storms to get rid of large amounts of guards in a really short time, which is very helpful, and overall they're a very useful tool to have, and to be able to recruit them both adds more stuff to do for the game and also gives you a little bit of help when you feel overwhelmed as well. So you've got too many guards on your back, call them recruits and they can help you out. Also, upgrading and leveling up your recruit with experience both in the gameplay and through the missions that you can send your recruits on is also very fun to do and very satisfying, especially when they reach that Master Assassin rank where they become a proper Master Assassin, have robes identical to yours, and then you can send them on an impossible mission, getting killed, and do it all again. I mean, obviously they need to flesh out the idea for the current generation of gaming and how evolved that is and how realistic it can be, because I could definitely up some realism from Assassin's Creed Brotherhood and Revelations. So in Revelations they all look the fucking same, men and women, which was kind of alarming. However, in Brotherhood they were all pretty much identical in how you in their clothing. They were all wearing these purple, like, whatever, and, you know, whatever, until you found them, and then they could have like different outfits and you could sort of change the colours. Maybe if you could change the look of their robes a little bit as well, like different, like shoulder guards, different, you know, hood, different everything, which that will be kind of awesome as well. But what I like about Revelations recruits is they have missions to come with them for when they ascend to Master Assassin, and then you put them in charge of a bureau, and they just, yeah, they end up with a bit of a problem, and then you as the Master Assassin have to go in and sort it out, which was kind of fun to do, especially in Revelations, because they were all sort of unique missions. However, they could flesh it out a little bit more, and they could have random missions for recruits, so that maybe when they're not Master Assassin or whatever, or Assassin, or like Assassin rank, you can help them out in unique missions, maybe randomly generated missions as well, not necessarily have to be too unique, just a little bit unique, you know, and stuff like that basically, which would be really, really cool. The thing is though, like I said, the recruitment of these recruits in Brotherhood was kind of dull, because all you did was you found them and you rescued them from fights. In Revelations, they actually did have missions around them. However, you know, some of them you think, what the fuck? Some of them were alright, some of them were a bit weird. And, I mean, by weird, I mean they were all fine. It was just some of them didn't feel like, you know, for example, one of them was some guy bragging about being an assassin, and then you race him, and then he's like, train with me. Which is, you know, which doesn't make sense. Don't recruit them just for that. I mean, they're maybe have a little bit of an arc with some of them, stuff like that, stuff that could take up a little bit more time, you know, and also be fun, and also sort of give the character personality, give them like this interesting name or whatever, and, you know, stuff like that. And that's one thing I like about Revelations and Brotherhood's recruitment system, is that they are in fact named, and usually the names are randomly generated, unlike in 3 where they're characters with names, with identities, that you meet and talk to through cutscenes and mission arcs and stuff like that, which I want basically AC3 sort of mission arc to the recruitment, maybe a little bit less going around being a social justice warrior and a little bit more focusing on the recruit themselves and helping the recruit rather than, you know, helping loads and loads of people and the recruit being like, I notice you, let me join the Assassin Brotherhood, and having them have a random name. The thing is about these assassins is, if they're not necessarily that significant, but they're significant enough to be applied to the game and not necessarily have to worry about them dying because you can go out and recruit new ones, whereas in 3 they just got injured, but it would be so much better. Basically meaning they work in the dark sort of thing, like, you know, the Assassin Brotherhood sort of does, and they're not necessarily out there as public figures either, so they're not necessarily anybody known to us through history, they don't have any necessarily recorded significance, and therefore we can explore the character a little bit more and have a little bit more freedom, and when one of them dies it doesn't really matter, and then you can go and do the same with others with randomly generated missions, to the not to the extent where like, wow, that's randomly generated and cool, you know, not that kind of randomly generated. What I mean is, so there's like so there are different kinds of missions, you know, and you could do similar ones to them. They have, I suppose it would get repetitive after a while, but the point is you're not meant to let them die, and if they do you just have to recruit another one and the mission is similar. That's fine, that's basically what I mean, but it randomly generated, so it's not all going to be the same recruitment mission, like go rescue them from a bunch of guards. So you could have like loads of different missions and they all have an equal chance of being the mission that you have to do to recruit them, and then you have different missions to help them advance as well, which would be really cool. One thing I don't necessarily want to do is rely upon the recruits though, so never have any missions where you need to use recruits. That's basically what I'm saying. So if you have these like recruit people around, then, you know, you can use them if things go sour, but you don't have to. The thing is, if you feel overwhelmed in combat or in the open world, you get detected or whatever, the point is you can use the recruits to get out of the situation fast and draw attention to them to get away, or you can use them just in case there are odds against you and you're in a massive fight and you want to take them all down, so use the recruits to arrow storm and they're all dead, sort of thing, like they do in Brotherhood. However, at some points I do feel as if, you know, it's not too forced, but there are some points where it's a little bit forced, and, you know, I think to myself, well, okay, maybe there should be a way of being able to do this without the recruit business going on, because, you know, that should be possible. So have the recruits there as a good option to get through things, but never something that you have to use. Basically what I'm trying to say is, if you want to play the entire game lone wolf, you should be able to do that, no problem. And even the side missions as well, that's like, besides from the recruit ones of course, which would be perfect. Which would be perfect because, you know, they're there, you're the master assassin. In reality, if you don't need them, you don't need them. You play the game how you like. If you like having help and you need to, say if you feel like you need the recruits there, then, you know, you can use them, and that's the point. They're there as like a tool in your arsenal sort of thing. But overall, my point is I really, really like the recruit system in Assassin's Creed Brotherhood and Revelations especially, and I really hope it returns in Empire. I mean, that's basically it. So thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to go ahead and leave a like, subscribe, share, comment. Tell your friends about the channel. If you are new, hit subscribe, join us. I stream often. Sorry I didn't stream yesterday. I had to deal with some pretty bad shit. If you know me IRL, you know exactly what that was. However, I will see you all very, 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 very soon. Probably like streaming later. Come stop by, say hello and all that stuff. And if you're watching this later than that, then, you know, I stream often, so yeah, join me there as well. But thanks for watching, guys. So